In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make simple flared skirt. Here is my fabric, and I have almost 4 yards here. The main length is 2 yards. 2 yards. When I measure it from this side, it gives me 2 yards, but when I measure it from this side, it's 120 inches. Very long. So I would say we have 4 yards here. I'm going to fold it into 2. I have folded it into 2. The front with the front, and this is the back. This is the back. So the front is facing the front. Okay. The skirt half length is 18 inches, while the full length is 36 inches. Half length 18 inches. And we are going to mark 17 inches. We mark 17 inches. Half length is 18 inches. Cutting this half length 17 inches, meaning we are sewing the top with ½ inch, the down here with half inch will give us 16 inches. Then plus the 2 inches band will give us exactly 18, which is the measurement of the half length, 18 inches. So let's proceed. Right now I'm going to mark at the zip allowance. I'm using 2 inches, so the zip allowance is 2 inches. Just mark from here and roll it out. That is the zip allowance. Skirt waist is 43 inches. That 43 inches for the waist. This is the 43. Then you add 8 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you add 8 inches, you will have 51 inches. So just fold your tape into 2 to get the accurate measurement. Look at it. That is 51 divided by 2. Your tape is together now. Divided by 2. The answer is 25.5. You still fold your tape into 2 again. You are dividing that 25.5 into 2 now. Look at what you have here. You see, it's more than 12.5 and it's not up to 13. This very line you are seeing here in your tape is the accurate measurement. So this is what you are going to measure out. You can see that. Remember, we added 2 inches for the sewing allowance. Don't forget that you must add sewing allowance to your measurement. So this is the waist now. I'm just going to mark it out with what I got. This is the waist measurements, like I explained to you before. The same thing I marked here, the same thing I marked here. So right now we are going to measure the hip. But before we measure the hip, you must remember that there is ½ inch here. Remember, I added ½ inch for the sewing allowance. This is ½ inch, for the sewing allowance. Remember, we measure 17 here. So this ½ inch, you place the 2 inches. You place 2 inches on top of that very line. Yeah. Don't place it here. Don't make it like this. No, you placed it on top of that very line. This line. Place 2. These 2 inches. Place it here. You see that? So that's what I'm going to do here now. Watch. So that's the 1/2 inch for the sewing allowance. I'm just going to mark it out so that it will be very clear. You can see that this is the sewing allowance 1/2 inch. Then from your waist to your hip, as an adult, a grown-up adult, from your waist to your hip is 8 inches. So you are going to mark 8 inches here, this very side, because from this place now to this place is your hip. You mark 8 inches. So from your waist to this place is 8 inches. You are not just going to measure 8 inches from here, from the waist, no, because by the time you add there, if you measure from here to here 8 inches, by the time you add band 2 inches, it will be 10 inches, which means the shape of your hip is not going to show, it's not going to come out. Okay, so you must add 2 inches from here, measuring from this very 1/2 inch, this line. You can see that, and you get your 8 inches, because after fixing the band you will have exactly 8 inches. So let's mark it out. Now the hip measurement is 51. You are going to add 8 inches to that 51. Why are you adding 8 inches? Because the fabric is folded into 2, and this is the back, and you're also going to fold the front into 2. So when you fold it into 2 and you fold that one into 2, you are folding it into 4 like that. That is why you add 8 inch. You have 51 inches for the hip. You are going to add 8 inches for the sewing allowance. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is 59. Even if you know it before, still count. Then put your tape together exactly where you have your 59 inches now, and double your tape. You see my tape is double now. You can see my tape is doubled. Then at the end of this place, check what do you have here. 29.5. You are still going to fold this 29.5 into 2. You fold it into 2, your tape, you fold it into 2 like this again. What do you have? You can see what we have here. What we have here is more than 14.5, and it's not up to 15. If you say, let me just make it 15, the sewing allowance will be too big. That means you are cutting everything 60 inches. So you have to follow exactly what the tape gives to you. If you say you want to minus and make it 14.5, you are reducing the sewing allowance. So make it exactly what the tape gives you. Okay, so this is what we have here now, 14.5 and 2 lines. Follow exactly this measurement. You see where I'm placing it? That is the hip. This is the waist measurement. This is the hip. We have measured it already. Let me show it to you. Look at that. You can see that now. Then the thigh, the person's knee, you know, not exactly on top of the person's knee. The thigh measurement is 42. Here is the 42. You add 8 inches as the sewing allowance. You will have 50 when you add 8. Then, like we have been doing it since, you put your tape together exactly where the 50 is. Look at that. Then make sure your tape is doubled. Then this 25, you will still double your tape again. You have your 25 here. Put your tape at the middle like this. Double your tape. Then you have 12.5. So the thigh, the measurement of this place now is going to be 12.5. This is the 12.5 here. Remember, this is the zip allowance. We are not doing anything with this place yet. So your 12.5 should start from this line to this place. We are going to bring this place to come together to the hip, and the hip will bring it to the waist. That's what we are going to do now. The person have hip, that is why you are seeing it like this. So we are just going to do some curving. I marked from the waist. I just draw the line to jump to bring everything together. This is the right measurement. This very one. This is the person's hip. This is the waist. While this side is the thigh. So I'm just going to join it together. So I'm going to pin it and cut it. This is the back side. From this place now, I'm going to mark 4 inches from here to here. That line you normally have in the front and back of your skirt. Just notch it. The zip allowance. This is the middle of the skirt, notch it. The middle, notch it. I'm going to be measuring 19.5, including the sewing allowance. After measuring 19.5 inches, you are just going to bring the lines together. Hello my viewers, please, there's something I will explain to you when I'm sewing this very skirt. So the measurement of the thigh, the waist, I will explain to you. I saw that the video is getting too long, so subscribe. I folded this fabric into 2, and the person's waist is 43. We are not going to cut exactly 43. We are going to add button or hook allowance. If you are putting hook on your skirt, you call it hook allowance. If you are putting button, you call it button allowance. The person's waist is 43. I'm going to be cutting 46 inches. This is 46 here. The band is going to be 2 inches, but we need to add sewing allowance. That's why I'm cutting 5 inches. So this is the band, and we'll continue the video on the part 2. The video is getting too long. I will show you how to sew it in my next video.